CJ Carr, Kenny Minchey, the Notre Dame quarterback battle rages on, but we haven't talked much about timing of a decision. Let's talk about timing and why that matters so much leading up to the opener against Miami. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports breaking down everything Notre Dame football. Folks, fall camp, we all know the early conversations, and they're going to center a lot around the quarterback position. You have redshirt freshman CJ Carr versus redshirt sophomore Kenny Minchey for the starting quarterback position for Notre Dame entering the 2025 season, obviously kicking off with the Miami Hurricanes here in just a few weeks. We've talked a lot about what side of the coin you're on, whether you are a CJ Carr truther, whether you are a believer in Kenny Minchey, whether you are a believer in, hey, I don't care who starts, whoever is the best quarterback is the guy for the job. But we haven't talked enough about timing of a decision and why that matters so much, because regardless of if it is CJ Carr or if it is Kenny Minchey, it is going to be a first-year starting quarterback, a player that has thrown very minimal passes. CJ Carr hasn't even thrown a pass yet in his Notre Dame career, and neither have started a football game or played in meaningful minutes, because last year, obviously, Steve Angeli is the main backup for Notre Dame behind Riley Leonard, so any meaningful situations a la the late first half drive against Penn State, that was a Steve Angeli situation. It was not a CJ Carr or Kenny Minchey situation. So regardless of who wins, the timing, I think, does matter. Now, there's a lot of different perspectives on this. Some people probably would have liked it to be decided before the fall even started. Some don't care if it leads up entirely into the week of game preparation, the week before Miami. There are others that say, hey, after this weekend, you have a scrimmage situation if you're Notre Dame. That's the time, because then you give them a 3-week window to get ready for Miami as the starting quarterback. Others say, hey, the 18th of this month, that gives you 2 weeks after the decision is made then to ramp him up. That first week, get past all the media craziness and all that type of stuff, and then finally get focused on Miami entirely and not worry about outside noise. All of those perspectives have different pluses and minuses to them. Now, naturally, there's going to be some people out there that are going to say, name them when you know who the starter is. And like obviously, that should go without saying. We're not here to rush a decision. But if you do know at some point soon, when is the best time to make this decision ultimately? And I would love to hear from you all, and this is actually more for you. This is not as much about my perspective. I do think that the 18th is an interesting cutoff date, because I do think 2-week window to give a quarterback that opportunity to settle in, get with his receivers, set protections, work his running back mesh points in the run game. I do think all that stuff would be very advantageous. So I do look at that 18th date as saying, hey, if a decision is made then publicly, I think that would be very advantageous for this team. But I want to hear from you all. When is the best time for this decision to be made? Because here's the fact of it. If you go up into game week and you're still deciding on the quarterback, you are putting either quarterback behind the 8 ball. So there does need to be a date here. Like it's not a situation where this doesn't matter. You need to have a date in mind, a cutoff point where a decision needs to be made. So folks, what is the best opportunity you think for this quarterback now starting for the University of Notre Dame, whether it is Minchey or Carr? 2-week grace period, 3 weeks. You want it to be decided after this weekend and after the scrimmage, the live action? Is this a decision where you don't really care if it gets even announced a couple days before the game? Would love to hear from you all in the chat. Make sure you put it down there, put your thoughts, hit that like button and subscribe on your way out as well. And as always, go Irish.